Okay, guys, it's the show, the asshole cooking show. It's the show, it's the show, it's the show. And today we're going to do this Connecticut beef dinner again. I did it last time, but we kind of did it only for a single recipe, in a big pan, so we didn't have enough of the other ingredients, but I pulled it off. But this time I'm going to do it better. It's like I did lasagnas. Gonna need some tater tots. I got my meat cooking and I'm gonna drain it here. Some sour cream. 2 cans of cream of toadstool. So what we're gonna do is, I get that meat going there because I gotta drain the grease. I have that all already going on. It's gonna take a little time. Gotta drain the grease out. Just like I did with my lasagnas, of course, like get the meat out. You don't want all that grease in there. I'll put this in the sink ready, throw it in a strainer. Yeah, I'm going to throw it in a strainer today. Yeah, usually I take the pot and tip it and dump it out of there, but I want as much grease out of there as possible. If a little bit is in there, it's okay, you know what I mean? Keep it from drying up, but just going to be more careful today. But first thing I'm going to do is open up this bag while I'm waiting for this. And I'm going to line this with a layer of taters. Oh, I forgot to tell you too, this cheddar, I got a lot of this. This is going to be for the top. Yeah, we're going to use some of that too. Oh yeah, and right on top of the cheese, once a sprinkle, a layer of like Rice Krispies for the top. It melts into the cheese and then kind of separates from cheese from getting stuck to the foil. But so we're doing that. But I'm going to put this camera down and open up the tater tots here. Cut open my taters here. But yeah, I'd realized too, for my mixture, when I have the meat done and drained, I forgot. We're going to put a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce in there to go with flavor. We're going to spice it up with some onion and garlic powder, but not get crazy like I usually do. Because like a few of us in the world like heavier garlic. I do, but not everybody else does. But do what you like. You know what I mean? I'm crazy with it, but I'm not going to do that today. But yeah, I got all this room here too. What I'm going to do is try to do with one hand here. Take some of these out. I'm just going to line the pan with them. Some of these I got them out of the freezer, so like instead of having somebody hold the camera, I'm like just doing this myself, and I'm just gonna add. I don't want to put like a whole bunch, like overdo it. I want to just cover the pan in layers. Cover the pan so you don't see no silver, but I want to have like one layer, not bunched up, but I just want to cover the bottom. That's what I'm gonna do because I got to save room. This pan only has so much depth, and I got to save room. We're going to put some more in later. But after I get the mixture, got the meat drained, and make my mixture, which you'll see in a while, it's going to be poured over top of here. And then another layer of pour the mixture over top. And then another layer of taters. And cheese, so there's got to be room. So I got to take the bottom. If there's a few here, it don't matter much. But just get that covered. Like, try to cover it up as best as you can. Try not to let any silver show, but don't overfill it. Yeah, so it's totally lined here with the taters. We're gonna check on this. It still needs some work to do. I'm gonna pause for the next step. I gotta wait for that meat to cook. Then we're gonna do the mixture on the next step. Combine the meat with the mixture, which you're gonna see in a minute. Okay, got this meat cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a strainer here. I usually pick it up and put the lid on and then and go like this. I don't feel like doing that today. I'm gonna get most of the grease out as possible. But careful not to strain yourself. But I'm gonna put this down here for a second and do this. All right, there we go. Left the hunk of meat got stuck in there, but so what? I've been using the hell out of this pot. I'm too cheap to get a new one. I make tea in it. It's still stained by the teas we make. We boil, but I'm gonna make sure this drains out of here. Shake it around. Ew, a lot coming out of there. It's still spewing for a while. Don't want it to be too hasty with throwing it back in the pot yet until this drains. Gotta add it to drain and get as much out of there as I can. Damn, it's still draining. A few drips here. Damn it. Shake it around there. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm gonna dump it back in. I gotta clean this out. Make sure this is washed down there with some hot water so it don't a mess. Okay, we're going to open up the sour cream here. Let me put this down for a second. Damn it. Open up the sour cream and we're gonna throw it in. Just throw the whole damn thing in. Gonna start making the mixture. This is all gonna be stirred together. But yeah, we're gonna take the 2 cans of cream of toadstool. Container out the way. Down here for 1 second. Get me a stone. Am I retarded? I got a spoon here already. I'm gonna get out the cream of toadstool as much of it out as I can. The other can. Get all this out. And a little bit of Worcestershire. How many shakes of this do you put in? Was that 20? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Because Worcestershire is pretty strong. There, got some of that. And a few dashes of onion and garlic powder. Not a hell of a lot like I usually do, just quick dash like that. Hope I didn't do too much there. Usually I get too crazy with that garlic powder. And a few shakes of garlic, just like that. No more than that. I usually get really crazy and put like a lot in, like half of the container. I'm not going to do that today. Not if you want to stay married. But then we're going to take this and mix it up. I'm going to give it a mix it completely up. Put it down for a second and mix it up. The magic mixture here. Yeah, when I made this in one of the last episodes, it didn't look like I had near enough. It was the first time I ever made it, and I realized um, when she introduced me to this dish, it was we made. She used a smaller like Pyrex dish, and I didn't really. I forgot to allow for. I needed 2 cans of this cream of toadstool, and last time I used just one, and I didn't realize for a pan twice the size, you got to use two and twice the meat. So after you've gotten this good and mixed up, the magic mixture here, we're gonna take it and then spew it all over here, real nice. And then I'm gonna just knock it on. See, like this. I'm gonna put the camera down for a second, and I'm gonna show you just the basic idea. And I'm gonna spread it around, but after I put this camera down, I'm going to scrape the remains out of the pot, of course, but I don't want to make a long, boring ass video too much, but we're going to cover this completely up. Now you get the idea. Look at that. Now look, this is so much better than the last one I made. It's just because, I had for the last episode, which I still got up, it was for only a recipe half this, which we had like a glass Pyrex dish, before I started doing cooking shows. When she introduced me to this, that's what she cooked in. I got one here, like somewhere. Oh, I got one up here like this. One of these. Yeah, see how much. Let me show you. This is smaller than this pan. Compare it here. It's about like that. And about. You can fit that almost inside of this. It ain't quite as deep. But you don't. There's not. Less volume, you know what I mean? And then. I don't know, you get the idea. But I'm going to pause this and scrape the rest out of the pot, and we're going to do the next step. Just smoothed in here. Yeah, so like this was the first one of the first meals I believe that she introduced me to and cooked for me, and she cooked in smaller dishes. We were together it's going to be like 5 years or something already? More than that. Oh, we're going into maybe a 6 year already. But anyway, yeah, she cooked in smaller Pyrex dishes, is this in lasagnas. The last time I made this, the episode is over there, and when I put that on there, if you look at my last episode, I'll give you a link to it. It should look like this when you put your layer and your mixture on there. But, just like in my show, you learn by your mistakes. You know what I mean? You can actually goof around a little bit and get crazy, but at the same time, and we're not professionals here. We do trial and error, or at least, I do here now, to try to give you some of you guys that couldn't stand to cook at first, just like me. I used to just give the courage to go ahead and do it. All right, anyway, so we're going to put another layer of these taters on here. And, another thing I gotta tell you too. It makes a big difference in how long it takes to cook these things if the taters are still froze. So when the taters are not still, these are not froze this time. I had them in the fridge. I had an overabundance of stuff. I got a small freezer here. So I'm using these ones that, while they're in the fridge, they kind of thawed out. You notice they're kind of crumbling a little bit. They thawed out. I had them out. Things were kind of a little crowded. So, like, we're going to sprinkle these all over. I'm going to just smooth them down, you know what I mean? And if you have some broken tater tots, who cares? They're going to cook in there anyway, but you want them to be shapely too and make it a attractive dish, you know what I mean, too. But when you chew it up and swallow it, who cares? But unless some of you guys are crazy enough to want to just squeeze them in your hands like shredded wheat and then mix it in there, which I'm not telling you to do that. I was just wondering in my head what would happen if you did. But I don't know. I had this weird thought. I mean, what would happen if you took a bag of Ore-Ida curly fries or them French fries, them crinkly cut French fries instead of these taters? Say you did this with a layer of Ore-Ida French fries. I ought to try it some. I don't know. It's not a bad. I don't think it's a bad idea. Try it sometime. Not today, but sometime. I just had a thought. But you know what? There's only a few potatoes left in this bag. I'm just gonna flip them on here and then smush them down in here. We're almost ready for our. Throw this dang thing away. Trash bag. Okay, smudge these down. Now, when you get this much, it's the whole bag. We're just gonna push it into the corners. Yes, I wash my hands and cook like this for guests and all that stuff too. But when you're at home, you know, wash my hands real good. Okay, we're going to take this cheddar cheese and we're gonna put a layer on there. We're not gonna overdo it, but we're gonna top it off. I'm going to make a nice layer. As long as it doesn't, it'll melt down into there when it's cooked, but it's not going to, as long as it doesn't, you know, cook over. But it's going to go down into these taters. Matter of fact, if it gets a little high on the lip of the pan, I'm going to cover it with foil anyway. It'll sink down, just like I did my lasagna. If it gets a little up the top, it'll go down. Unless you really overdo it. You don't got to worry about it boiling over, because I did it before. But I'm going to try to get this as quick as possible here. And in fact, I'm going to pause the camera and just fix it up with both hands, and then we're going to get ready for the next step. Try to get every corner. It don't got to be perfect because it's going to melt in. But God was pretty generous with it. Just smush it down, you know, nice and even, you know. So now when the cheese melts, we're going to cover this with foil. So this little trick, the Rice Krispies, not only makes it look good, it just keeps the cheese from sticking to the foil when you so we're going to put some of this, throw some of this on. I'm going to spread some on here real quick if I can get. God damn it. Okay, so I'm going to just, whoa, damn it. Go like this. Hold on, camera here. All right, I'm gonna just spread it around. I'm just gonna do a little layer here. Spread it around. I'm gonna pause real quick because I'm gonna do this with two hands. Don't gotta be perfect, but press some in there. You don't gotta cover every little thing up, but press it in there a little bit, squeeze it down. And I'm going to get ready for the covering of the foil, and I'm plus going to have to sweep Rice Krispies off the kitchen floor. But that's all right. Should have happened. You got to sweep down anyway, you know. But I'm going to get the foil now real quick. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the oven on to about 400 degrees. I should have had it preheated already, but I forgot, but that's all right. Let me get the foil real quick. Even with the purpose of the Rice Krispies, you know, it's so that they don't get stuck all over the foil. Well, even with my lasagna, when I made the lasagnas, I spray a little bit of this on the foil. So that's why when one of the first lasagnas, I didn't do that as well, and it just kind of cut them apart. But if spray a little, just a quick spray, because the Rice Krispies still might make a burning smell or something against the foil, and you don't want that. And then we're going to go and flip it over. flip it over shiny side up, and I'm going to pause, and I'm going to get this foil on, and we're going to put it in the stove. All right, foiled again. We're going to open this up, and I'm going to lift this thing in carefully in there and bake it for roughly an hour, or just bake it until it's good inside. I'm going to check it now and then. And while I'm waiting for it to cook in there, I'm going to sweep all the Rice Krispies off the floor, wash this, wash that, throw these cans away and all that stuff. So stay tuned. We're going to do the unveiling next. Right. I'm going to get the Love Glove here and open it up. Get this out of here. It's heavy. All right. And K for the unveiling. See, it's going to be better than the last one I made. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, that is just so much better. Oh, that is way better than my last one. See, we did it right this time. Look how, this is how it actually is supposed to come. This is how it's supposed to look. Wow. Look at that. We're going to let it cool for a little bit before we cut into it. But, or maybe I might have some of it right now, but, serve some of it on up here. Gonna cut it about here. Take some of that out. Yeah, come in there. See, this is what it looks like when you're eating it underneath, you know what I mean, too. Boy, that all cooked up nicely. Cheese on top. It comes out like a lasagna, but I'm doing this camera in one hand, getting it out, spoon it out. It's a basic idea of what it looks like when you're eating it up anyway. But, then I'm going to get myself some. And that concludes another exciting episode of the Asshole Cooking Show. I'm going to get myself some and eat this up. Thank you for watching the show. The Asshole Cooking Show. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for watching the show. The show.